Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to learn area and perimeter. If you remember, under mensuration we already covered a lot of that stuff, and so yeah, today it will be slightly different and it will be a bit more deeper. But let's quickly remember what we studied last. In the last class we studied comparison of rational numbers. So if you remember, I have made 2 tutorials on rational number. Uh, the last one obviously was the second of it, and in that we covered comparison number of rational numbers between two rational numbers. Basically we figured out that the infinite number of rational numbers between two, and then we learned to add, subtract, divide, multiply, which was nothing new. We followed the principles of integers, and then if it was a natural number we multiplied, if it was a whole number we multiplied in that way, if it were a integer we multiplied that likewise, and if it were a fraction we did that. So the whole game was that we will multiply it like a fraction or like an integer or like a whole number or like a natural number, and we will follow the sign principles of integers that I had explained in my integer multiplication, division, subtraction, addition chapters. Cool. So today we are going to learn, we will quickly revise area of rectangle and square. If you remember, we did that. There was a tutorial on mensuration in class 6, so I covered that. Then we'll do area of triangles. If you remember, I had proven Pythagoras theorem, and I told you that area of triangle is something which I have used here. So just let's park it for a moment. So the moment has come, we will learn the area of triangle, then we'll learn area of parallelograms. It's got an interesting correlation with rectangles, so stay tuned. It's very impressive to see how these geometrical figures behave, and we will visualize it and we'll mathematically prove it as well. So we will not mug anything up, we will not memorize, we will build our concepts. And then the area of triangles, and how is it like correlated with congruent triangles. What is the relationship? I will come back and I will tell you. So that's going to be what we are going to be learning today. It's an interesting set of stuff, so pay attention on this one. Area of rectangle and square. This is a rectangle, length is L, breadth is B, area is length into breadth. This is a square, which is a rectangle of a special case where length and breadth are equal. So the area of square is nothing but length into breadth, but because they are both equal, we call it a square. Simple. So we've revised. Now let's get into area of parallelogram. Do you remember what parallelogram is? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are equal and parallel. So rectangle is also, oh sorry, I missed something. Let's go to first area of triangles. I am so sorry. See, this is a special kind of a triangle. This is a right angle triangle. Why? Because I have drawn a rectangle A, B, C, D here. Okay. Now I have drawn this rectangle, which means this is 5 centimeters, so this is also 5 centimeters. This is 8 centimeters, so this is also 8 centimeters. And I have drawn a diagonal. Now you remember in the chapter of symmetry, we learned that the diagonal of a rectangle is basically is one of the lines of symmetry for a rectangle, which means that the figures on both sides, they will be exactly the same in shape and in size, which means that these two are the same triangles. And indeed they are, because you look at it, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 8 centimeter, 8 centimeter. This side is common, so by congruency principle of SSS, these two triangles are congruent. Also by congruency principle of SAS, because this is 90 degree, because it's a rectangle, it is 90 degree, it's a rectangle. This side is equal to this side, AB is equal to CD, so SAS, SAS congruent triangles. There are many ways to prove that these two are congruent, so don't worry about it. So what is the area of this rectangle? the area of the rectangle is length into breadth, but we also understand that these two triangles are equal in area. So area of triangle ADC will be equal to the area of triangle ABC, correct? Because these two are equal parts of the rectangle, and therefore the area of the triangle will be length into breadth, which is the area of the rectangle, half of it. And that's what the area of each triangle is, half of area of rectangle, which basically is half into base into height. If you remember, I told you that half into what is the length. If I look at, like, if I see the triangle like this is the base, right, which is basically the length, and this is the height, which is basically the breadth. If I see the triangle like this, right, if I rotate it and see it like this is 5 and this is it. So this will become base. Half into base into height will become 8. So same stuff. And which is why the area of a triangle is half into base into height. Now you might question me saying that this is a right angle triangle. Yes. So know that it's true for all the triangles, but yes, we've proven it for right angle triangle. At least for right angle triangles, you know now that it is half into base into height. Okay, let's move on. Now we come to area of parallelograms. If you remember, parallelogram, like I said, was a quadrilateral. It is a quadrilateral with opposite sides are parallel to each other and opposite sides are equal to each other. So AB is first of all parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC. That is one condition. Then AB is also equal to CD and AD is also equal to BC, right? So that's the parallelogram. Now we have to find out its area. The question is, just look at, these are the same parallelograms which are plotted on a graphical size, right? So this is the parallelogram ABCD. We have to find out its area. Now visually, let's see. You see this line here? You see this line right here? Yeah, this line. You see there is a dotted line which I have created here. A, D, thickness. AD, let's call it E, CB, right? So that's the dotted line which I have created here. Okay, so it's a right angle triangle. What I have done is that I have drawn a perpendicular. Okay, now you check this out, this part. Can you think that I can cut this part out and place it here? Yes, I can. So what do we get? We have transformed this parallelogram into a rectangle. Okay, into a rectangle of length equal to AB, because AB has not changed, right? Similarly, whatever part of CE I have removed from here, I have added it back here. So the length, this length is also the same, right? It is equal to CD. And this is the length, this is the height of the parallelogram. Okay, so basically it is equal to the rectangle, okay, which is for which one side is AB, which is one of the sides of the parallelogram, and the other side of the rectangle is nothing but height of the parallelogram, or basically the length of the perpendicular from the top to the other side. So it becomes a rectangle AB into whatever is the height. That's the area. So the area of the parallelogram is length of one side multiplied by height. That's it. Now you can say that if I am given the length of this side, yeah, that's also okay. If you have the length of this side BC, right? So you can basically the same way then you can draw 90-degree here, cut it off, and then put this triangle here, and this will be your rectangle then. In that case, what will happen is that the height will change. You will not consider this height. You will have to consider the height between the two sides. So if I am taking the length of side BC, then I have to take the height from BC to the opposite side. Then I can't consider this height. Okay. Here I am taking the length AB, so the height will be between AB and CD. I cannot take this height then. I will not take this height. So keep that in mind. Basically, parallelogram, you convert it into a rectangle, and that's the area. That's the visual representation. Now let's sort of do a mathematical representation also. See, understand, this is a parallelogram once again. So this is the actual parallelogram, A, B, C, and this point D. This is point E, and this is point F. Cool. Now what we are going to do, this is the height H. This is the height H. So I have to find area of this parallelogram A. I am here to find out the area of the parallelogram ACDB. ACDB. Okay. Eventually I will end up finding the area of rectangle ACFE. ACFE. And I will prove to you that these two areas are going to be the same. Fair enough? Fantastic. Let's move ahead. Okay. Let's not rub anything. So, can we consider that this parallelogram basically is nothing but this. I draw a perpendicular from point A to the line BD. Okay, and basically whatever I get as a height. This height here and this height here is going to be the same, right? This is because this is going to be a height from here. These are parallel lines, so the height is going to be the same everywhere, right? Therefore I can safely assume that AE, okay, is equal to CF. Correct? So this is H, this is also H. Fantastic. Now I see that the area of this triangle is what? Half into BE into, this is BE, into height H. That is the area of triangle ABE. So I write it as half into BE into H. Now let me draw another triangle from here to here. Similar 90 degree. Okay. And what you will discover that now these two are parallel lines, right? And this line AB and CD are parallel. Okay, and I am drawing a perpendicular from here to here and here to here. Okay, so these two lines are also parallel. So this angle will be equal to this angle, correct? We have studied that. So this angle will be equal to this angle. Yeah, and this angle will be equal to this angle. Yeah, and therefore I know that this side obviously is equal to this side, correct? So hypotenuse is same, your perpendicular is same, so your base will also be same. So let's call it CG. So CG is also equal to B. So I can write the area of this triangle, half into base is CG into height is H. Okay. Now I have to find out the area of this part, which visibly here you can see is that it is equal to, it is a square, which basically is AG. Okay. So don't worry, it may or may not be a square. We will only consider AG. Okay. So the area of this part is AG into H, assuming it is a rectangle. Okay, AG into H. So what is the total area of the parallelogram? ACDB. The area of the parallelogram is the area of this triangle ABE, which is half into base BE into H. plus area of this rectangle AGDE, which is AG into H, okay, plus area of this triangle DCG, which is half, into GC, okay, or CG into H, right? Now we just established that triangle ABE is congruent with triangle DCG, and therefore BE is equal to GC. So half into BE, okay. So let's okay, let me quickly let me just take out, we see that H is common here, so let me take H out, and what are we left with? BE by 2 plus GC by 2 plus AG. That is what we are left with, okay. Now BE by 2 and GC by 2 is basically what? We can write it as GC because B is equal to GC, right? So it is GC plus AG. I think it might not be visible to you, so let me rewrite it. BE by 2, because B is equal to GC, we can write it as GC. BE by 2 is basically GC by 2 plus GC by 2, so that's GC plus AG. So what it is? H into, what is GC plus AG? This is GC and this is AG. What it is? This is AC. So what did we get? We got height into one of the sides, which is what? Area of this rectangle. If this is a rectangle, the breadth is H and the one of the sides is AG. So we got that, AC. So mathematically also you can prove it, not a big deal. So similarly, I mean, this is for you to spend some time and understand that any side of the parallelogram can be chosen as a base. So do not get confused that if I am drawing the parallelogram like this here, then only, you know, CD will be the base. It is not like that, and this is the height. Like I explained earlier, you can choose the other side. Like CB can also be the base, but then the perpendicular will change, the height will change, right? This will become your height. So you will need to know the height or the distance between the parallel lines, okay. It cannot happen that you know the length of CD, okay, and you multiply it with this height, then you will get the answer. No, this is the length or this is the base, then you need to have this height, this height. If this is the base or this is the base, then you need to have this height that we have drawn there. So if DA or AD is the base, then BF will be the height, okay. So always understand that the base and the height, it changes, okay, and you can consider any side as base. So that was on parallelogram. Area of triangle and congruences. Okay, understand two things, guys. So here basically what I have done is that I have taken two equal triangles. They are scaling triangles, ABC, and it's congruent with EDF. So same triangles. Now what I have done is that here ACB, I have rotated you know, this triangle in such a way that AB and DE, they have basically coincided with each other, and this is the parallelogram that I have created, okay. So if you have any two triangles, you can basically rotate them to create a parallelogram, and the area of the parallelogram is what? So if DF is the base, DF into whatever is the, let's say, height, whatever is the height, let's call it H, DF. So basically same as that of a rectangle, and therefore the area of these two equal or congruent triangles will be DF by 2, which is basically half into base DF. Now for this triangle, this is the height, understand, for triangle ABF, I have basically, so this is the base, and on this base from the opposite vertex, whatever is the height, that height into half, that will be the area of, and so it is not only true for right hand right angle triangle. It is true for any triangle. The only thing is that the height and the base, they have to be perpendicular to each other. So if DF is the base, then height will be this one. Okay, you cannot then draw it. So that's the definition. Okay, so basically understand that, if there are two congruent triangles, they will always be equal in area, but it is not necessary that if there are two triangles of equal area, they will be congruent. Okay, and think about it. Why? See, pictorially it is represented triangle P. Okay, triangle P A B, that's the triangle, right? And then look at the triangle SAB. Okay, these may or may not be congruent depending on this angle or this angle, right? It can be anywhere. These may or may not be congruent, but their areas are equal. Why? Because if you look at the vertex of all these four triangles, right? So the line segment or the line PS is parallel to AB, and therefore the heights will be the same. Whatever is the height PA here, I hope it is 90 degree, assuming this is 90. So this Q, that will be the height. If I draw the height, it will be the same, and from here it will be the same. So basically my area for all these four triangles will be half into what is base. Base is AB, which is 6 centimeters, and then whatever is this height, because this height is going to be equal, all the four vertices are basically on the same line which is parallel to the base, so the height is going to be the same, right? So whatever is the height, the area of all these four triangles are going to be equal, but they may or may not be congruent. Okay, if there is a triangle in such a way that, okay, the height is also same and this angle is equal to this angle, then obviously then the triangles are congruent, but otherwise not necessary. So congruent triangles equal in area, but equal in area triangles not necessary that they will always be congruent. So keep that in mind. They might be congruent, they might not be congruent. So cool, that was all which I had. I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you in the next one.